Sure. All right, Cecil, I want to talk a little bit about something Sean Payton said yesterday, and then we have an update on what's happening with the Avalanche tonight, who's the goaltender, and we're going to preview both the Nugs and Avs late-night games coming up in just a few minutes. But Sean Payton said something yesterday, and it got me to thinking. All right, so the question is, Sean, how do you help out Bo Nix, who's operating a little bit fast in his head? So, Coach, how do you help a quarterback out that needs to slow down?
I've said that before. I think one of his great strengths is not taking sacks. And so the clock in his head relative to that sense of urgency. So I think there is a fine line of, number one, the depth of route. You know, is this a longer developing play, a 7-step drop, a 5-step drop, a 3-step drop, and what should be the appropriate time. But I think that's a much easier problem to correct than the latter, which is taking the sacks, and historically speaking, has proven to be much more difficult to fix.
All right, so he's saying what Bo's struggling with is so much easier to fix than what another quarterback that takes a bunch of sacks.
He revealed so much in that answer,
Yes, he did. And I think Sean's right about that.
Mm-hmm.
So when he's talking about the route concepts tied to your feet, Bo's feet in this conversation, I think to myself, okay, now do you ask the coach to change route concepts, to change the offense, to then change what wide receivers and tight ends and pass catchers do play in and play out? That's a big group of bodies that has to change what they do. Or do you mandate that your second-year quarterback pulls his head out of his you-know-what and figures out what's going on with his feet? Because that's a singular problem versus a group or multiple rooms, wide receivers, running backs, and tight ends, that would then have to adjust to route concepts that Sean would then have to spend multiple nights and moments changing all of that. So I think there's a ton to take away. I'm with you. There's a lot to unpack on this one answer.
Yeah.
And just, hey, Sean, change your route concepts. Even for a guy like me that questions Sean a lot. I don't think that's fair to anybody in the room, including Sean Payton.
Sean just told you it was Bo's fault.
Yeah, he did. He basically did.
Sorry. And that's the thing. The depth of the route is tied to your drop back. So let's say, just for example, it's a shotgun formation, and there's great debate. Orlovsky's saying less shotgun, more shotgun, whatever. But let's say he takes those 3 steps, and it's a 3-step drop back. That route is tied to that 3rd step. When Bo Nix abandons the play too soon, it throws off the timing. Your guys aren't going to be open at the same time if you happen to take some steps outside, because your steps are going to be different. The pressure is going to be different. You're not going to be able to throw off platform in the way that you think you can, and the routes aren't going to stay the same because they're tied to your feet. When that 3rd step hits, it's time to fire or it's time to run. And if you do want to buy a little time and watch this other route come open in the long developing play, then you step up, and then you're able to properly step into your throw. You have an on-time and on-target throw. Bo Nix is abandoning the play way too soon. And I don't know if it's the sack thing, like, oh, he's not getting sacked. He's not getting sacked. That's a great thing. He's not getting sacked. He doesn't take sacks. I wouldn't mind him taking a couple more sacks if he was actually staying with the play.
And you're letting stuff progress downfield.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You're letting stuff develop. So it would be like as if Spivak, sets up the show, you do put together the rundown, and I come in and I just start talking about comic books. Right? Well, that new Batman, Absolute Batman, you get that annual #1? He's out there fighting white supremacists or whatever. Like, that's... Would anybody want that?
Right.
Would anybody like that if I just started talking about Batman when you set up the show to talk about the Avs and the Nuggets and the Broncos and the Rockies, and I'm just like...
I think Kevin might be stoked.
Hey, Batman.
I'm in.
Right? Hey, absolute Batman. Like, that's awesome. Nobody would care. That's what Bo Nix is doing right now. He's got, as soon as he breaks the pocket on an unscheduled play, we all got to say Batman. Like... Batman. He's thinking about breaking a play when he needs to be thinking about letting the play develop. Sean told you in that one answer, and he did it in the nicest way possible.
He's still protecting his guy.
He's protecting. I love my Q. Mm-hmm. Your Q's not listening to you right now, Sean, and that's unfortunate. Bo's got to listen to Sean, run the damn plays. Maybe Sean needs to call different plays. There's been times this year, and probably most of this year, when the Broncos offense had struggles, we'd say, what's going on with Sean? Why is he doing this? The last 2 games have been all on Bo Nix. These are Bo Nix errors that need to be cleaned up. And we love Bo. We're the Bo Show. Don't at me, bro. Don't call me a hater, nothing like that. We're only going to tell you the truth, and it's not meant to make you feel good. But the truth of the matter is, Bo Nix is not playing good football, and he's not listening to his coach.
Well, you know what I took away? Another takeaway from that answer is, so this isn't a surprise. Sean wants to control, right? He wants to be in control. He calls the plays, he draws up the plays, he sets up the game plan. They go out and execute the game plan. That's not a Sean thing. That's pretty common, actually, for coaches at all levels. They want to be in control of this. And I thought when I heard that answer, all those screens popped into my head. Kevin hates him. I know there's a ton of folks out there that hate him. And I thought to myself, well, there's our answer. Sean just told us without telling us why he's been calling so many screens, because he wants to control it. He wants to make less variables, right?
Right.
If Bo's not going to get to the second progression, I need to make that the check down, the screen. You get that one quick one, oh my God, it's not there, go to this next one, because Sean can then control what his quarterback is doing, and that's an easy catch and completion for the quarterback. So that all these screens, it's because Sean wants to control what Bo is doing, and without that being your first or second immediate read, you don't have any control over what Bo's doing because he's going rogue, rolling right, and hoping something sets up, and then it never does.
Yeah.
So that's why we've seen so much of that. And then I also thought to myself, okay, how do you slow Bo down? Is it as simple as we know that Cortland Sutton's being double teamed 67% of the time? All right, Cecil, so I'm Sean Payton. I take that information. I say, how do I counter against my opponent when they're doing that? Bo seems to like Troy Franklin. If I see that double team over there, so you have your cornerback pressing against Cortland, you have that safety cheating to his side or even up at the line of scrimmage. That would tell me on the other side, your favorite boo over there, Troy Franklin, probably has one-on-one without a bracket. Troy and Bo then need to recognize that on the same page pre-snap and go, it's doubled over there. You've got one-on-one. It's 2nd and 6 or whatever the case may be. J.K. Dobbins is in. It's 2nd and 3 because he just ran for 7 yards on first down. We recognize that matchup, hit that quick slant, that drag route, create separation with a box out in your booty, boxing out the defender, and you throw it to him 100% of the time. And then you do that until they have to stop double teaming Cortland Sutton, and then you can start to link up your routes with feet, and Bo can hopefully understand. There are these little tiny elementary things in football that they can do until Bo gets his feet right that makes the defense counter what they're doing right now.
Yeah, the wide receivers are getting open. The Cortland Sutton double team is an interesting conversation, but they need to break that. And once they do, you know you got them because they don't know what you're going to do. But you have to break them of doing that.
It's been, 10 opponents that go, hey, if we take this guy away, we don't believe that Bo and any of the rest of you chumps can beat us. And I mean, they've been wrong because they got 8 wins, but it hasn't been them the reason they've won the game.
Yeah, and it hasn't been the offense outside of some fourth quarters and, of course, the Cowboys game, but we're not going to judge anything based off the Cowboys game. Bo's got to fix this. For whatever reason, he's uncomfortable, and I hate it. I hate it for him because I don't have any answers. I have the answers about the feet, like, oh, clean up your feet. Yeah, duh. Everybody knows that. His feet are terrible because he's nervous in the pocket. Why is he nervous? He's not seeing ghosts. He's not feeling pressure that's not there. He's just abandoning the play way too early. You're going to have pressure, Bo. There's going to be guys swirling around you. I know that. You did it at Oregon.
But that's what's weird is he's gone away from being comfortable in chaos.
Right.
That's when he's so good at not taking sacks, but while letting the pocket collapse around him and then still getting rid of the football before you get sacked. Now he's not comfortable in chaos. He's actually terrified of it. That's why he's running for his life to the right every time it breaks down.
And there's one problem with Bo Nix in not having a rocket arm. His arm isn't weak. Don't at me, bro. But here becomes the problem. Once he rolls to the right, he's only throwing to the right. If you're Drake May, and whatever about Drake May, but if he rolls to the right, he can throw it 70 yards opposite field to the left.
Yeah.
John Elway could do that. Mahomes can do it. Not very many quarterbacks can. Josh Allen can do that, where all of the field is open. When Bo's in the pocket, Bo has the entire field at his disposal because he can throw to the right, he can throw to the left. He's in the pocket. He's looking at defenses. He's able to throw with timing and touch deep. Once he breaks that pocket and he rolls to the right or to the left, it's only to that side. That's the only spot he's going to throw the ball, and defenses know it. Hey, just get a little pressure on him. Guy's going to break pocket, probably go to the right, and then if you're on the left side of the field, well, he's not thrown over here.
Yeah, it's over there.
Right. And so that really limits what he can do. If he stays in the pocket, he has the entire field. If he rolls to the right, he only has the right because that's where his arm's at. Again, his arm isn't weak, but it's not a cannon, and that's the difference that a John Elway, a Josh Allen, Drake May, that's the difference those guys have.
Well, and every quarterback coach will tell you, and head coach like Sean will tell you, you better not be throwing across your body back on that side of the field.
No. Every time Elway did it, we'd go, what are you doing? Oh, well, he can do that because he's John Elway.
It's it worked. Okay, we're good.
Yeah.
But Bo doesn't have it like that.
He doesn't have that cannon.
So he does have to slow down a little bit. But I think you're spot on, Cecil. Sean just told us Bo's struggling. He's struggling a lot right now, and the head coach continues to protect him to try to keep his mentals right. I think that's a part of the conversation, too, of, all right, do we need Sean to maybe hold Bo a little bit more accountable? Maybe that helps, but I don't think anybody knows Bo better than Sean knows Bo. And if he's protecting him, kind of walking on eggshells around the mistakes that he's making, I'm going to assume that's for a reason to not overwhelm a second-year quarterback upstairs.
If you had a private moment with Sean Payton, the one emotion that I believe he would emote to you if Bo Nix came up, which he'd totally come up because he loves his Q, I'd say he's disappointed. You'd have to be.
Yeah.
How do you craft this up? And again, watch the coach's tape. Receivers are open. They're open all day. The stupid screen passes, whatever, and we can talk about that.
I think it's about comfort and control.
It's about comfort and control. So if Sean had a private moment, he wouldn't be like defending him as he's defending him in the media. Behind the scenes, Sean would have to be displaying a level of disappointment because this wasn't Bo last year. This wasn't Bo at Oregon. If you want to say this is Auburn Bo, I've heard some people say that, like, man, it looks like Auburn Bo's back. That's not what you want. You want Oregon Bo. You want that sweet, beautiful magic that he had with Dan Lanning, and Dan Lanning on another one, by the way.
Yeah, Oregon Trey tweet us. I will tell you, Oregon Trey, I have come around on Dan Lanning. I will never watch 20 minutes of content from Dan Lanning.
Yeah, I clicked on that. I was like, 20 minutes? Huh? I'm not doing
I'm not watching 20 minutes of anything on the internet. Well, check that. Once in a while.
Once in a while. I was going to talk about my morning prayer. You're talking about something else. Something else. But for me, come on, Bo. Come on. You're way better than this.
Yes, you are.
You're way better than this. What are you doing?
We'll get back to that conversation. Want to give some more room to give shout-outs to our military family in the tribe. Luis from Wheat Ridge says, shout out to all my brothers and sisters in arms, especially those from Delta Company 214, Fort Drum in New York. Luis, shout out to your Delta Company and shout out to you, my friend. By the way, I got to tell people, and Cecil, I haven't even told you, I'm looking at the text line. I'm trying to get as many of these as I can.
Yeah.
I'm still in the 10 o'clock hour of our text.
Ooh.
It's 12:18. I'm still in the 10 o'clock hour of our text, but I promise I'm trying to get through a bunch of those. Russ from Loveland was a Vietnam vet, 67 and 68. Good job, guys. No, we don't have anything to do with this, Russ. That's all you, my man. Congratulations and thank you for your service. A shout out to my dad, a 20-year Navy vet, and just survived his cancer diagnosis. Tribe member Calvin in Kentucky. Hell yeah, Calvin. Shout out to you and your dad for his military service and kicking ass against cancer. That is pretty sweet.
I love that, man.